talk about this a lot. I saw this podcast and it's kind of long. It's like 16 minutes. I want to play a decent amount of it if you're okay with that.
I don't care.
It's really interesting. You know who Jimmy Iovine or Iovine is? Iovine. The music mogul guy?
I thought his name was Levine.
No, it's Iovine. Jimmy Iovine, I think.
Yeah, I think doesn't he represent Levine, like Fleetwood Mac or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a major player guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know who he is or know of him.
He, on this podcast, predicted in the near future, like the next few years, the end of music streaming, which caught me off guard for two reasons. One, thinking that streaming is about to die is stunning to me. Two, this guy's a very legitimate player in the business. Like, he's a guy that would be on the front line of this. You know, he's a guy that would get the reports and stuff for this. So this really did kind of grab me, kind of, and I don't know, I that's why I wanted to play it, is to play some of it, see what you think, and see if there could be some validity to this. So let's check it out. This is just some podcast talking with Jimmy Iovine.
Curtis, DIY.
DIYers, whoa. This was interesting. I saw this as a headline. Jimmy Iovine, the co-founder of Interscope and Beats by Dre, a name that many of you have heard before, I'm sure. This is the headline. He thinks streaming services need other artists more and not the other way around, and he believes that streaming services will become obsolete in the coming years. What?
Tell the truth and I'm gonna tell it.
What do you think of that?
And what is the reason they'll become obsolete?
Because there's no new artists that are coming.
So
he'll explain it. He'll explain it. It goes really deep into how the money is split. And I didn't even know some of this. You know, I obviously have a business doing this, but
sure.
But you know, some of this is really interesting. So here's a little more.
It's like that direct-to-consumer talk might have been ahead of its time again.
Those deals are reflective of the iTunes download market, 70-30. That was the same business as the download market. So they just copied that, which is not a great bit model for that. Why? Because you have not enough money in the streaming service in order for it to really live. So they got to now go out and find different versions of revenue, right? And they pay 70% or whatever it is now, 72%, 70, 60. I don't know what the negotiations have been since then. And structured in a really odd way because, let's say, for example, you're married, you have 2 kids, and you have a family plan. And you and your wife play The Clash, The Police, etc. But your kids play Drake and Kendrick Lamar all day. Most of the money from your house goes to Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth and I'm gonna tell it.
You might remember from this channel,
Does that make sense to you? That the pool of money is gonna get rid of the pooling money is going to go to the biggest artists, and the smaller artists, or smaller as far as active plays today, are going to get paid less and less and less till they're just not going to be on the platform anymore.
Yeah. Well, isn't that what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about Mellencamp?
Yeah.
He was kind of talking about the same thing, that, you know, that they push an artist because they're making, you know, they're selling more ads like in New York,
right?
But they won't play it in a smaller market because, you know, it kind of phases it out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is kind of the same thing, and only now because we don't listen to radio, now it's affecting the streaming thing.
Yeah. Well, and I think what Iovine here is saying too is that there's not enough money coming into the streaming to validate it. You know, and admittedly, the Eck guy, the Daniel Eck guy, is a thief, in my opinion. You know, I mean, he's stealing from all these bands. He doesn't do shit. But, like as an example, if you have a family plan for Spotify, I think that gives you 5, maybe 6 accounts. So let's say you have a wife, 3 kids, and your neighbor are using that account, which I know is not the legal way it's supposed to work, but you have 6, you loan it to the one person. So you have 6 people coming in for $16 a month, and they're playing, let's say, 1,000 songs. Is that $16 going to fund 1,000 songs? And how long will it be before Spotify is losing money because they're not getting enough on the income? You see what I mean? They're like he was saying, 70-30, so 70% of the money is gone before it even comes in. So if it was $10, you're only making 3. Spotify's only making 3. But at 16, Spotify's making what, $5? $5 is not going to.
Well, yeah, the more songs that are being played, the more diluted the profit is.
Yeah, it's the same reason the video streaming services are all underwater right now, because they can't make enough money. If they raise their prices anymore, people jump off. But if they don't raise their prices, they can't afford to keep doing what they do. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a big clusterfuck mess.
No, I mean, for lack of a better term, it's reaching a saturation point.
Yeah.
You know,
dude, what would happen if streaming really went away?
Well, people are going to have to resort to their CDs and their MP3s again.
Their old ones, yes. But at this point in 2026, there's not even places to get this shit made anymore. Most of the companies that made pressed CDs are gone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Most of the companies that pressed, probably almost all of them that pressed cassettes are gone.
You'll have to go back to the Apple, MP3s where you buy them.
Man, I just don't see that as a workable model. Do you?
Well, it worked prior to streaming. People were buying songs for 99 cents a song.
I guess if
somebody wants their music and they don't own it already, they'll go back to buying either individual songs or they'll buy an album download again.
Will they? Or
if they want it.
Or will they go back to pirating it with a new version of... Well, hold on. The difference between then and now is the internet speed. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can download I download albums from Holics all the time, which is how the publicists give me albums.
Sure.
And, it's literally... And it's down. I click the button and it says, download complete. Right. No more than 1 second. Right. Which is going to make that way harder to track, way harder to police. It's why they can't stop all the movie piracy right now, because the internet is so fast and it's so easy to mask your IP now with a VPN. Mm-hmm. I mean, these are all things that were not there then.
Yeah, that's correct.
You know, think about as big as Napster was at its peak, or the Pirate Bay, or any of that stuff that we were using.
We're talking 25
years ago. Think of how much bigger Napster would have been if instead of taking half a day to get that fucking Electric album from the Cult, it took 1 second. How much more out of control would piracy be? It would be nuts. It would be unpoliceable. because those sites will just like with the movie business, when the FBI closes one, 10 other ones, it's whack-a-mole. They hit one, 10 more pop up.
Right.
Piracy would overrun it. The only reason you don't have rampant piracy right now in the music business is because it's cheap enough that it doesn't really bug anybody. Most people could spend $12 or $9 or whatever it is for, like, I have YouTube Premium, which gives me YouTube Music and commercial-free YouTube. And for a family plan of that, which is, $6, I know for that one is $6. I think it's it's $22 a month, which is worth it to me for the unlimited, no commercials in YouTube. Just for that alone, it's worth that. And now I've got, 5 other people in my quote unquote family that are all listening to YouTube Music. Probably with the amount that I listen and, the other people that I have on my plan are listening, I would say it's probably 4,000 to 5,000 songs a month. There's no way it's $22 paying for that. You know what I mean? It's just not. It's not paying for the bandwidth for that. So it's a weird, we're in a weird place. He's not wrong. This whole thing might fall in. It might implode.
Well, it could. I mean, again, it could. It could very well be, and if if it gets to that point, people are just going to have to own their own MP3s. Again, might go back to that.
It might. Yeah, I don't know. That's really, I guess I don't need to play a lot more of this because he just goes into on and on and on rambling. But